Well then, that was fun? Question mark? Can a 3-0 win by your opponent be a contender for Game of the Year? It might be able to. Atlanta United and Philadelphia Union in the CONCACAF Champions League quarterfinals was an amazing game. Two totally different halves. Atlanta United absolutely ran Philly out of the building in the first half and somehow didn't score, and as we've seen before, very much so during the 2017 season, if you don't score, you don't take advantage of your opportunities, likely is going to come back to haunt you. Philly completely turned it around in the second half. They absorbed a lot of pressure. They scored kind of a fluky goal, and then from there, Atlanta kept pushing, and Philly really did a great job on the counterattack, taking advantage of how many guys Atlanta was pushing forward and got 2 more goals. I mean, just a thrilling game overall. And I've seen going through Twitter tons of tweets about just how much fun it was. Gabriel Heinze after the match said how much he just loved watching his team play in this game. And it sets up a tough second leg for Atlanta United in Philadelphia. But today we're going to go through some things we liked from Tuesday night, some things we didn't like, and what's it going to take to turn things around in leg 2. I think the biggest takeaway from Tuesday night is that Atlanta United and Gabriel Heinze are going to go for it each and every night. They're going to play to win, they're going to play to score goals, and they're going to play to have fun and be entertaining. We saw that with the lineup. He got as many attackers and as many young players in there as possible. Ibarra playing as a right back, slightly out of position, but that added a new wrinkle there. Bello had a ton of freedom throughout the night that he thrived in. And then Sosa in the back, it's turning into one of the most fun players on the team, just dictating every single thing from his defensive midfield position. And Heinze kept adding attackers, kept going for it, didn't change anything, didn't bunker down. He left Joseph on the pitch for the entire game, which was pretty surprising given his recovery. He probably will play very limited minutes this weekend back in MLS, but I just loved that he kept going for it and kept going to try and get that breakthrough goal, kind of knowing that if they got that one, the way they were playing, they were probably going to get 2 or 3 against Philadelphia. And we saw a lot in 2017. Tata did the same thing when Miguel, Joseph, Tito, Assad were just running up and down the pitch and creating so many chances. And even when they didn't score, we kind of saw what happened on Tuesday night. They would concede, and then it's really tough to come back from that, where you're on the attack, and then you get that counter punch, and it's hard to bounce back from that. And that's just something a young team is going to go through. That team in 2017, first year in the MLS, a lot of young players, and just like this team, there were multiple teenagers out there, a lot of players in their first year of MLS, first year in CONCACAF Champions League, and it was just a big learning experience. But if Atlanta United's going to play like that the entire season and just have that kind of effort and intensity and entertainment value, they're going to be very fun. There's going to be some 4-1 wins, some 3-2 wins, some 5-4 wins, and probably a good share of 4-1 losses, 3-0 losses like last night. But if it looks as good as it did last night, we'll take the good with the bad. And obviously the biggest thing not to like about Tuesday night was the finishing, kind of the lack of that final move in the final third of the pitch. Jurgen Damm made some great runs, had some really great attacks. He was kind of indecisive on whether to go and attack himself, whether to cross it into Joseph, and I think that's going to be a learning curve for he and a lot of the new players, is that their main goal, and I know Joseph hasn't been on the field as much, but their main goal has got to be service to Joseph, mix up the looks, whether it's a first-time cross, making a move, and then crossing it in, and then the more and more you feed Joseph, the more defenders are going to lean off of you, and that's going to give you the chance to attack more. We've seen Barco be able to kind of find that balance of how to do that, and I think just more time on the field with Joseph, with Moreno, with Dom, all those guys, and Barco are going to be able to figure out when to kind of do things themselves, when to kind of do the give and goes, and just continue feeding Joseph and just continue learning how to maximize their offense. And then hopefully the finishing will come in practice. They'll be a bit more clinical with it, and that will just make the attack even more dangerous and even more fun. Now for leg 2, it may be a lot to ask to say just play the same way in the first half as they did in leg 1 and see what happens. If you score an early goal, put a lot of pressure on Philly, they might start to get tight. Now Philly's an experienced team. They're one of the best teams in the MLS. They should know how to win at home. But if you get out on the front foot like they did in the first half on Tuesday night, get an early goal, put that pressure on, see how tight Philly gets, and you never know. It's CONCACAF. Atlanta United could flip it the other way, and that will be very interesting to see, and we'll see if Philly invites that pressure, or if they try and get that first goal and kind of hit that knockout blow, or if they invite Atlanta to come onto them again and take that risk of Atlanta scoring early and putting that pressure on, and then we'll really have a game, and we'll really get into more CONCACAF chaos. Now this weekend, Atlanta plays at New England. We probably will see our first big lineup rotation of the year. I expect a lot of guys to be rested after such an intense game. On Tuesday night, like I said with Joseph, he probably won't start on Saturday, and we maybe see Barco, who's played almost every minute of every game, maybe see Miles Robinson get a little bit of a rest, and it'll be good to see the attitude of the team on Saturday night. I mean, they just took a huge uppercut from Philadelphia in the second half. If they can just have a good attitude and play the brand of soccer they've played all season, that should be a good boost for them to be able to take that confidence into Philadelphia and kind of have that sense of belief. They can say, yeah, we took your big punch, but we're back, we're going to give you one now, and we're going to really make a game of it and push you for this whole last 90 minutes for that chance to go to the semifinals. And yeah, we've been talking CONCACAF this whole episode, but we're going to leave you with some positivity, some good vibes, some good happy thoughts before we sign off. We can't leave without the Barco goal from Saturday night. So enjoy that, enjoy the game this weekend, and we'll see you next week, and we'll hopefully be talking a trip to the CONCACAF semifinals.
Ezekiel, Barco straight into the wall. Wants it again, Barco!